The horror story of the possessed young man is horror. Some do not believe in the existence of the jinn, but many people claim that he has already witnessed with his own eyes events that actually indicate their existence and their connection to the human world. And certainly God Almighty created the jinn, and this was mentioned in the Holy Quran, so that there is a surah in the Holy Quran called Surah al-Jinn, as the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, told us about them in some of his hadiths. This story is told by a young man called Ahmed, who is 20 years old. He tells that he used to live with his family in a house that belonged to his grandfather in the past, and the house was very large and consisted of several floors, and because the boy was still young when they moved into the house, he did not understand why their parents were warning them always from shouting loudly or making strange sounds, and all the rooms of the house were open to them, except for one room in the basement of the house, which was closed, and no one in the family was allowed to enter it. And when he grew up a little, he was warned not to return home late, specifically after 10 in the evening, and he thought that his father was a strict person, so he did not want him to come back late. Throughout his childhood, Ahmed remained committed to the instructions, but when he grew up, he began to try to break all the rules, including not being late outside. And because Ahmed decided to rebel against all the laws and rules, he decided one day to open the forbidden room to see what was in it. So he brought a sharp tool and made several attempts until he was able to open the handle of the room. And he wished that he had not done that, because he found a group of people in the room, and when he opened the door they started looking towards him, which made him feel very frightened and fell unconscious, and his father came rushing after he heard the sound of his hitting the ground and told him that he must abide by everything he told him and not repeat that attempt again. And even if his father had not warned him, Ahmed decided on his own not to approach that room again, and the father traveled after that. As for Ahmed, he returned to abide by the rules of the house, except that one day he went out to spend some time with his friends outside the house, so he stole time and was late for what after 10 o'clock. When he returned home, the electricity was cut off, and while he was trying to climb the stairs, he saw a hole in the stairs, and there were what looked like children, but their shapes terrified, and they tried to raise their hands towards him. The hole and what's in it? Ahmed remained confused about his situation, as he did not know if what he saw was real or imaginary, but in any case he decided not to be late outside the house, and if he was late, he would spend the night with his friends. But Ahmed's story with ghosts did not end, and on some nights he would see a ghost of a beautiful girl appeared in his room, and one night he stared at this ghost, and it turned into an ugly, terrifying girl, and she lifted his bed in the air and turned around until he fell off the bed and hit the wall and broke his hand, and started screaming. When Ahmed's mother sought the sound, she came quickly, and found him lying on the ground with his arm broken, and when he told her what happened, she laughed and told him that it was just a dream and that he might have fallen asleep. But Ahmed refused to sleep in that room again, and when his father returned from travel he decided he buys them a new house, and Ahmed welcomed this decision very much, but after a short period of time, Ahmed began to hear strange voices again, so his father decided to bring him a sheikh, so the sheikh told them that he is possessed and he must adhere to legal incantations and read the Quran constantly. Share the story.